The 2023 NFL Draft has come and gone. There were 259 players who were selected this year. Players drafted came from all kinds of schools. They were also ranked as high as 5 stars and as low as no stars coming out of high school. Speaking of 5 stars, there were 26 former 5-star recruits that were drafted according to the On3 industry rankings. According to On3, there were 9 former 5 stars that ended up undrafted. Those 9 undrafted former 5 stars came from the 2017 through 2020 recruiting classes. There were 2 from the 2020 class, 1 from 2019, 4 from 2018, and 2 from 2017. So let's take a look at the 9 former 5 stars that went undrafted this past weekend. Before we get to today's video, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football. And odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. We'll start today's video with the 2 players from 2017. Hunter Johnson is the only quarterback that is going to be on today's list. According to On3, he was the number 2 quarterback and number 23 overall player from the 2017 class. He committed to Clemson, where he played in only 76 snaps during his freshman season. He threw for 200 yards with 2 touchdowns, but just didn't do much for the Tigers. That offseason, he transferred to Northwestern, but sat out the entire 2018 campaign. In 2019, Johnson appeared in only 6 games and made 5 starts. He didn't do much with that time, as he threw for only 400 yards with a touchdown while rushing in a touchdown as well. In 2020, he appeared in only 2 games and didn't really contribute much. He was voted team captain in 2021, but barely saw the field once again. That season, he threw for only 400 yards with 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. In 2022, he returned to Clemson, but once again, barely saw the field. He made his 2022 season debut against Louisiana Tech, coming 1,750 days after his most recent appearance for Clemson in the 2017 ACC title game. After going undrafted, he accepted a rookie minicamp invite with the Steelers. The final player from the 2017 class was running back Kailyn Lowry. He was a consensus 5-star recruit who was ranked as the number 1 all-purpose back by the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings and Rivals. He began his career at Florida State, redshirting in 2017 and appearing in only 2 games in 2018 due to an injury. He appeared in 10 games with 1 start in 2019, rushing for 300 yards with 4 touchdowns. He didn't play football again until 2022, when he ended up at Marshall and finished as one of the best running backs in all of college football. This past season, he rushed for over 1,500 yards with 16 rushing touchdowns, both top 10 in the country. Lowry was signed by the 49ers as an undrafted free agent. We'll move to 2018, where there were 4 players not drafted. The first is Brenton Cox, who played the jack edge rusher position at Georgia and Florida. He originally committed to the Bulldogs, where he finished with 20 tackles, 1 sack, and 3 pass deflections as a true freshman. He transferred to Florida and didn't appear in a game until 2020. Overall, Cox had a pretty solid career with Florida. In his 3 seasons, he racked up 118 tackles with 32.5 tackles for loss and 13.5 sacks. Cox's best season with the Gators came in 2021 when he finished with 41 tackles, 14.5 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 4 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble. He then had 35 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks through 8 games in 2022 before he was dismissed from the Florida program during the middle of the season. He signed with the Packers as an undrafted free agent. Up next is BJ Foster, who spent time at Texas and Sam Houston State. He spent 4 years at Texas after joining the Longhorns as one of the top safeties in the 2018 cycle. He played in 13 games as a true freshman, totaling 46 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, 2 quarterback hurries, and 5 pass breakups. In 2019, he made 8 starts, totaling 34 tackles, with 4 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, 1 pass breakup, and 1 interception. Foster played in 9 games, but made only 2 starts in 2020. He was third-team All-Big 12 preseason selected by Phil Steele. He was a 2020 All-Big 12 third-teamer in the preseason. During the season, he registered 41 tackles with only 1 tackle for loss and 3 pass breakups. In 2021, he was named an All-Big 12 honorable mention. In 12 games, he recorded 47 tackles with 2.5 tackles for loss and a team-leading 3 interceptions. Foster transferred to Sam Houston State for the 2022 season. He played in only 6 games, racking up 29 tackles, with 3 coming for loss, with 1 sack, 1 interception, and 1 pass breakup. As of right now, it doesn't look like he's been picked up by any team so far. Up next is Palalia Naote, who committed to USC as the number 2 linebacker in the 2018 class. He was the USA Today's All-Nevada Defensive Player of the Year and the Polynesian High School Football of the Year finalist. He started off his career as a true freshman, totaling 38 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. His best season then came as a sophomore in 2019, where he totaled 58 tackles in only 8 games, including a career-high 14 tackles in a single game against Utah. He played in just 2 games in 2020 before he hit the transfer portal and committed to Ohio State. But there just wasn't a lot of production during his time with the Buckeyes. He finished his career with only 18 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, and half a sack with 3 fumble recoveries. And it looks like he's yet to sign with the team. The final player from 2019 is Taron Vincent, a defensive lineman who spent his whole career at Ohio State. He was a 5-star recruit by 24/7 Sports and Rivals, and both those outlets had him as the number 1 defensive tackle prospect in the nation. Overall though, he had a pretty quiet career with the Buckeyes. He finished his tenure with only 58 tackles, including 8 tackles for loss and 2.5 sacks. Vincent was invited to the Bills' rookie minicamp. The lone player from the 2019 recruiting class was wide receiver Jaden Hazelwood. He spent time with Oklahoma and Arkansas. Per On3, he was their number 1 rated wide receiver in the 2019 class and the number 3 overall player. His career at Oklahoma never panned out. During his true freshman campaign, he caught only 19 passes and had only 1 touchdown. 2020 was disappointing as he finished the season with only 4 receptions. He took a slight step in 2021 as he finished the season with 40 receptions, 400 receiving yards, and 6 receiving touchdowns, all career highs. That offseason, he entered the transfer portal where he ended up at Arkansas. In 2022, he had by far the best season of his collegiate career. He led the team with 59 receptions and finished 7th overall in the SEC. He finished the year with over 700 receiving yards, the second most on the team, and added 3 receiving touchdowns as well. He recorded at least 3 receptions in all 12 games and caught 5 or more passes in 8 games. He was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Eagles. We head to 2020 with the final 2 players on today's list. The first is former Maryland wide receiver Rakeem Jarrett. He was ranked as high as the nation's number 2 wide receiver. He was the 2019 Washington, D.C. Gatorade Player of the Year. He appeared in 4 games his freshman season, totaling only 17 receptions for 250 yards with 2 touchdowns. But that was enough to rank 5th among all freshman wide receivers in receptions per game and 6th in receiving yards per game. In 2021, he led the Terps in every receiving category with 62 receptions for 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. Jarrett was 7th in the Big Ten in receptions, 8th in receiving yards, and 10th in touchdowns. His numbers took a hit in 2022 as he caught only 40 passes for 470 yards with 3 touchdowns. For some reason, he declared for the NFL draft instead of returning for another season. He finished his Maryland career 11th in receptions, 12th in career touchdowns, and 13th in career yards. He signed as an undrafted free agent with the Buccaneers. The final player on today's list is Eli Rex, who played at LSU and Alabama. He was ranked as the number 1 overall recruit in the state of Florida and was listed as a 5-star cornerback by 24/7, Rivals, and On3. Rex played in 14 games across his 2 seasons with LSU. A 2021 injury cut his season short, but as a true freshman, he recorded 20 tackles to go along with 4 interceptions and 5 pass breakups. He was 3rd-team All-American from the AP as a freshman, while also being selected as a freshman All-American. Additionally, Rex was named to the All-SEC second team by the AP and was selected as a freshman All-SEC honoree by the league's coaches. He transferred to Alabama last offseason, where he was one of the top pickups from the transfer portal. portal. He was named to the watch list for the Nagurski Trophy and was also named to the watch list for the Walter Camp Player of the Year. He was selected as a preseason All-American by the Associated Press, Pro Football Focus, and Walter Camp. He ended up finishing his 2022 season with only 13 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 4 pass breakups. He signed with the Eagles as an undrafted free agent. Which player from today's list are you most surprised by not getting drafted? Overall, who do you think was the biggest bust during their collegiate career? Whoever it is, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm posting college football videos all off season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.